Hey guys, so today I'm back with another crochet tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet like a mini octopus. I love making these. I have a shorter tutorial on my YouTube shorts, but this is like a beginner tutorial. I'll be going over it like super slowly, so this is really good if it's your first time crocheting. So yeah, what you're going to need is you're going to need safety eyes unless you'd rather embroider the eyes. Obviously yarn, you'll need scissors, a crochet hook, and a stitch marker. Okay, so to begin, we are going to get our yarn out. Okay, so you're going to take your non-dominant hand, do this. I don't really know what to call that. You're going to go over like that, pull this yarn, and you go up underneath that finger. And then right now we're making a magic ring, so you're going to take your middle finger, and you're going to make an X on it, and you're going to pinch it right there. Now in your dominant hand, you're going to grab your hook, and you're going to go underneath. Grab the yarn, and pull it through. Now that it's on our hook, we're going to go underneath and slowly pull through. Now you can take it off your finger very carefully. If it didn't stay, that's okay, you can try again. But yeah, so now we have our magic ring. We're going to put our first single crochet in there. We're going to do 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the circle, then we're going to go underneath this right here to grab the yarn. I'm going to pull through. I'm going to pinch it right here, go under to grab the yarn, and pull through those 2 loops. Now is the time you can grab your stitch marker, and what you'll do is you'll see this little V right here, and you're going to put your stitch marker right there. So that is our first stitch, and we're going to do 7 more. So we're going to go in there, go under to grab the yarn, pull through. You might want to readjust your hand, go under, and pull through. That's 2. We're going to do this again. We're going to go into the loop, go under, grab the yarn, pull it through, and we go under, pull through. Now, if you don't know how many you've done, we have currently done 3. So you can look by counting your V's right here. 1, 2, 3. That's how many stitches we've done. I'm going to do another one by putting your hook into this circle, grab the yarn, pull through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Get more. Go right there. Feel free to slow down this video if I'm going too fast for you. Now we're at 4. I'm going to do 4 more. Going in, getting yarn, pulling through. Now that we have 2 loops, we're going to get yarn and pull through both of those. Okay, now I think we need 3 more. I'm going to start to go a little faster now that you're hopefully getting the hang of it. If you're still struggling, you can totally pause or rewind the video. Okay, so now that we're at 8, you'll see this little string coming from the bottom of your magic ring. What you're going to do is you're going to grab it and you're going to gently pull it tight. And make sure your circle's nice and tight. Now, you can see where your stitch marker is. You are going to want to go into that little V right there. Really hard trying getting my camera focused, but then you're going to go underneath the yarn and pull through. This time you're not going to go to grab like that. You're just going to keep this loop right here, and then you're going to pull it through that one. This is called a slip stitch. Now that we've done that, we've completed our first round. Tighten this a little more, and I'm going to re-show you how to get it on your hand just in case you forgot. So non-dominant hand, and pinch your work. Okay, time to start round 2. For this round, it's going to be all increases. which means we're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch. So if you can see right there where we just did that, we're going to go in with our hook, get yarn, and pull through. Now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to get more yarn by going under and pull through both of those. Now we're going to move our stitch marker. You notice the little V right there? You're not going to want to go in like that. You'll look on the side and you'll go right there. If it's not exact, it's not the end of the world because it is just a stitch marker. Okay, so now since we're doing increases, we're going to put another stitch right here. So we're going to go in, get yarn, pull through, get yarn, and pull through 2. Okay, now we're going to do increases in all of these stitches. So you're going to go, you'll look and see the V right here, and you're going to go in there, get yarn and pull through, get yarn and pull through the 2. See where you just did that stitch? We're going to put another one right there. You're doing great, don't worry. Remember, you can always pause the video or rewind if you need to. Next, we're going to go in this stitch right here, underneath. We're going to pull through, get yarn and pull through 2. Now let's add another stitch right in there. Great job. Now we're going to go into this next one, adding another increase. We're putting 1 stitch, and then another. And our next one right here. Go in, get yarn and pull through 2. And we're going to add our second stitch. Until we've gone all the way around. I am speeding up a little bit, but you can totally keep going slow. Hopefully now you're getting the hang of it a little bit better, but if not, it's totally okay. Okay, so now that we have done all of our increases, we're going to do a slip stitch to finish off the round. You'll look and see where your stitch marker is, and you're going to go into that V. It should be the first stitch from this round. You're going to go underneath your yarn to get it, pull it through. Now remember, for this time, you don't want to get more yarn. You want to keep this loop right here and pull it through this way. And you can pull it and make it nice and tight. Once you've pulled it tight, it should look smaller than the other stitches because we don't put any more stitches in there. It's just to close the round. If this hole is getting a little bigger, you can pull it tight again with that string. And now we're going to move on to round 3. For this round, we're just going to do single crochets all the way around. So we're going to go in, get yarn, pull through. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, pull through 2, and then we're going to move our stitch marker. To do that, you're going to look right there. You're going to go in right there and close your stitch marker. Now, since this one we're not doing any increases, we just need 1 stitch there. Then we're going to move on to the next V. We're going to do this all the way around. I'll try to go kind of slow. Remember, you can always pause or change the playback speed so it's slower. Keep going. It's going to be a little hard at first, but you'll learn eventually. I actually learned how to crochet off of YouTube about 2 years ago because I just got bored and decided to, so trust me, you'll figure it out. You just got to keep trying. Okay, now that we're there, you might notice it's starting to curl up a little bit this way, but we don't want this to be on the outside because that is like the back of our work. So what we're going to do is we're going to push it a little bit this way to try to fold it over to go the correct way. Now that we've finished this round, we're going to do another slip stitch by going where our stitch marker is, into that V. Make sure you go through both the little parts of the V right there. Get the yarn, and then you pull through, make it nice and tight. Okay, now we're going to start our next round, which I believe is round 4. If you ever lose track of what round you are on, a good way to count them is if you look at these little circles. So 1, 2, 3, that means we're about to start round 4. You go in, then we're going to go underneath to get your yarn, but it's actually called yarn over. So you'll probably see that in a lot of crochet tutorials. Now we're going to do single crochets all the way around. I am using American crochet terms. There's actually different like I don't know what the other one is. And sometimes it's called English as in like England, and sometimes it's called something else. But I'm using the US or the American ones. So just make sure you're looking out for that whenever you're using a crochet pattern, so you know what stitch you're actually supposed to be doing. But yeah, sorry I'm going a little faster now. But like I said, feel free to pause or change the playback speed. Once we get to the end, we're going to do that same slip stitch, which hopefully you're starting to figure out a little bit. Make sure you pull it nice and tight. Okay, so this round is going to be a little difficult because we're going to be doing decreases. I'd recommend taking off the stitch marker, setting it aside. Okay, so you can see where we just did our slip stitch in this V right here. As you can see, there's 2 lines on the V. We're going to go underneath the first one, like that. Now we're going to go underneath the first V, part of the V, the second one. So we have 2 loops on my hook, and then as you can see, those 2 are staying right there. We're going to get yarn, and we're going to pull through both of these, and then we're going to get yarn and pull through 2. That was probably a little tricky for you, but I promise it gets easier. We can now put our slip stitch, or not slip stitch, stitch marker right there. So this one can be a little harder to see what stitches you just used, but you pulled these 2 together to decrease, so we're going to be on this one now. So you're going to go on this one and this one, making sure that you weave the other half of the V with the yarn and pull through both of these, then get yarn and pull through. Okay, now we're going to keep doing that all the way around to have 8 stitches. We're going to go right there and right there. Keep going. You're so close to being done. You're doing so good. Keep going with these decreases. Ignore that little knot in my yarn. Sometimes I have know how I started doing the wrong stitch, my bad. Kind of crocheting dog hair into this, but okay. Now we're gonna move over here. We're gonna slip stitch. Okay, your work should look a little something like this. This circular little octopus looking thing. You can now remove your stitch marker and we won't need it anymore. Okay, we're going to readjust and put our yarn back on our hand how it has been, and we're going to start doing chain stitches. We're going to do 4 chains. So to do that, we're going to go under and pull through. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, skip this V, and go into this one. We're going to get yarn, Now you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Get yarn and pull through all 3 of those. This is a half double crochet. Next, we're going to do a double crochet. To do this, we're going to get yarn. We're going to go into the next V right here. We're going to get yarn and pull through. We should have 3 loops on our hook. This time, we're going to get yarn and pull through the first 2, and get yarn and pull through the second 2. That's a double crochet. Now we're going to do a treble crochet. To do this, we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to go into this V right here, get yarn, pull through, get yarn, pull through 2, get yarn, pull through 2, get yarn, pull through 2. And then we're going to slip stitch into this next one right there. What nice and tight. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to chain 4. To do that, we yarn over, pull through, 4 times. Okay, now we're going to do our half double crochet. To do that, we yarn over, skip this V, go into this one, yarn over, pull through. Now we're going to do a double crochet. Double crochet. And then we slip stitch into this one right there. We're going to do this a total of 8 times so we can have the 8 legs for our little octopus. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do our half double crochet, our double crochet, and our treble crochet. As you guys can probably tell from how many YouTube videos I have, I am newer to making YouTube videos, especially like the longer length crochet ones. So if you guys have any suggestions on how I can better like explain my tutorials, please let me know because I'd be happy to do anything differently for you guys, because I remember how hard crochet was for me to learn and I really want to make it easier for you guys. So yeah, if you guys could just comment and let me know any like parts you struggled with, or like if you want me to do certain things slower, or just how I can improve my tutorials, or even other tutorials you'd like to see. And I'll respond to those comments as quick as I can. So yeah, we're going to keep going around with our chain 4, half double crochet, then we do our double crochet, and then our treble crochet. And then of course we slip stitch. Your octopus should be starting to look a little something like this. It's okay if your octopus is a little wonky. It can kind of be kind of wonky sometimes. It's your first time. It's totally okay. My first time crocheting, I tried to make this bookmark. Oh my gosh, it did not look right. But I still kept it because it's like special, you know, my first crochet thing. And now I make a bunch of like really big and like cool stuff. So yeah, as long as you keep practicing and watching a bunch of like tutorials and stuff, you'll get good at it. So we go into a double, and then our treble, and slip stitch. I think we have one more to do. Let me check. Yes. Okay, so for this one, it's gonna seem like there's not a place to slip stitch it into, but there is. I'll show you once I finish. Okay, so as you can see, this is where we did our first one. So you can go right there, right up next to it, and then slip stitch. Now, since we're done with this, don't cut your yarn yet. What you want to do first is you want to do a chain one. So get yarn and pull through. This will help like knot it at the end so it stays once we cut it. So now you can cut your yarn, leave a little bit of excess because we're going to tie it to the inside so it stays. Okay, so flip it inside out. Pull this string to tighten your magic ring as tight as you can. Then with these, I'm going to tie them together. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to, but I recommend it so it stays falling apart. Once you've knotted it a little bit, you can cut this off. Now I'm going to show you where I like to do my safety eyes, but you could also embroider them if you prefer. Okay, so the size of safety eyes you want just depends on how you want the look to be. If you want it to be like really wide-eyed and like staring at you, you can use bigger eyes. And if you want it to be like smaller eyes, you can use smaller eyes. I'm going to see how these look. I honestly don't remember. Okay, so you can kind of just play around and see what you like to do, but I usually like to count 1, 2, 3, and then right there. I usually put them around here, but you can move them around how you want. So once they're in, you can flip it kind of inside out like that. It looks a little scary. And then you can get the backs to your safety eyes. Just pop those on right there. It can be a little hard to do sometimes, but it's okay. If you made it this far, then you've already done a lot of hard stuff. So. Okay. And this is your octopus. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful. And yet again, like I said, if you have any suggestions of what I could do better to help you guys,